use the drawing tools to form the correct answer on the provided graph. It says graph the linear inequalities shown below on the provided graph. Well, again, let me say, let's go put this in on Desmos and let's see if that can help us draw our picture, especially for the shaded part of this. So I'm going to turn my screen over to Desmos. Notice that I do have the screen up down here for us to type it in, to type in the symbol, and it's y is less than or equal to, and then it's negative 2/5 x minus 4. And so the nice thing is when we draw this in here, we can identify a couple of pieces that might help us draw it in on our picture. And remember that when I'm using the iPad, I have trouble drawing graphs. But here's a point. 0, -4. It's the y-intercept. If you look at this inequality, it happens to be in slope-intercept form already. But what I can also identify, and it's just at the edge of my graph, so I can scoot my graph over a little bit, is that point as well, which is -10, 0. So if we flip back here to our problem, again, I have a hard time on the iPad, but I do want to point out that because this problem has an equals to in it, it's going to be a solid line. If there's no equals sign in there, it is going to be a dashed or a dotted line. And one of the sayings that I like to say when I'm teaching is if there's something underneath, then it's filled in, and if there's nothing underneath, then it's not filled in. Something to that effect. So we are going to be using the line, and if you recall again, our y-intercept was -4, and then we're going to draw our line over here through 10, -10, and again I have trouble. Come on. So you can see that I have trouble. And I don't know why it's not drawing here. But our slope on this is -2/5. So I'm going to try one more time. And I'm going to be close, but I'm not going to be right. So there's our line. And then we have to shade. So again, if we go back to Desmos and we look at the picture, look at where we're going to shade. So we come back to the problem, shaded region. It's going to be here. And there is our answer to our problem. If we look at the next problem, it's very, very similar. The thing is, this is not written in slope-intercept form, but we're still doing the same thing. We're going to graph it, and in order to get this graphed, let's flip over to Desmos and type it in. 3x, let me pull this up, 3x minus 2y is greater than or equal to 12. So here's our picture. And again, in terms of what I'm looking at, here's an x-intercept at 4, 0. Here's a y-intercept at 0, -6. And we're going to go over there and we're going to use that back in our program to try to help us draw that picture. Again, as you saw from the last problem, I have trouble. Still, there's an equals here. Let me use pencil instead. There's an equals, which means that it's going to be a solid line. And I'm going to start here at -6, and I'm going to try to go to 4 to draw our picture. I'm close, I'm close. So there's our picture. And then if we look at Desmos again, just to make sure, to see where we're going to shade, kind of to the right. Here's the shaded region. Maybe have to hit that again. Oh dear. And there's our answer to our problem.